Hey YouTube, what is up? It's your boy Reheated Takes, and sorry I've been absent for a little bit. Doubt anybody. Well, of course y'all noticed. Some people will be watching this may be unsubscribed. Oh shoot, I'll blur this out. I love sody pops. Hit me up for a sponsorship. Okay, so what I wanted to talk today about was a $200 million White House expansion, and I was actually talking to my brother about this, and boy, I get animated when I'm talking to my family. Right, you're not on YouTube, so you can be just yourself. Um, I'm like cussing every other word. And if I were to do that here, I'm try to be more myself, but still a little bit camera shy, that I'm I'm seeing, or maybe just scared of the YouTube algorithm starting out. I'm a little nervous about what what my effects of what how it would affect me on being successful on YouTube. So ignoring a little bit of that, ooh, burpee. So, yeah, I was talking to my brother about the 200 million White House expansion, and yeah, it got me really frustrated because uh, first of all, $200 million is a drop in the bucket. No, it's a drop in the ocean for the federal government. It's nothing. So in that scheme, it doesn't really matter. It's not going to make or break the government's budget. It's paid by us taxpayers, but it's not going to make or break the government's budget in any way. And normally, these articles that come out are like, so and so president recently with like Mango Red going out to Scotland, I believe, for that golf course, and people were like, he spent so many millions of dollars doing it. I normally don't like attacking that stuff. You're the damn president, whether it's Obama, Barack Hussein, Obama, or Biden or Trump, right? Anywhere they go, it's going to be millions and millions of dollars worth of security. It is what it is. So I normally don't like to get into that stuff. And some people were arguing, well, he's using it as a work trip slash golf outing. Argument for another day. So I normally don't like to argue these things with the federal government doing that. Anytime I think the federal government just breathing is like hundreds and thousands of dollars, if not more, if not more. All right, it's a lot to run the country. I get it, but this $200 million White House expansion is just tone deaf, and that's the word I had used repeatedly with my brother. It's just tone deaf, tone deaf, tone deaf. And if y'all don't know what tone deaf means, and I believe I do, the way at least I've been using it, you know how we use words and we just make our own definitions. I think gaslighting is one of the most recent examples I can think of. Is people just using that word improperly. Sometimes I use it right, sometimes I don't. But tone deaf, basically, you do something and you're not aware of the how it's going to be perceived around by other people, right? The situation by itself may be very benign, but doing it around other people, because of the situation, your actions or whatever you're doing, you're not aware of how it would affect it. You may be thinking, "Oh, this is nothing. This is going to make people happy," or "People won't care," something like that. But the effect is actually the opposite, and you're not aware of it. So it's tone deaf. We had the big ugly bill pass recently, and we had the big ugly bill pass, and they cut out so many social security, so not social security, they cut out so many planned social safety net cuts, especially to Medicaid, uh, disproportionate tax cuts to the upper wealthy. Um, right, those are the two big things that happened in that bill. And now you're doing this White House expansion. So do we have the money or we don't? Because motherfucker, you're running the government like we have the money, just not for the poor people. And that's really fucking frustrating. And this is where I get annoyed and just lose my fucking mind when this type of shit happens. It really, really gets my blood pressure fucking increasing. Doge was out here like fucking digging for pennies in the couch cushions. Where the fuck is Doge at right now? Oh yeah, Elon got into a fucking fight with him, and they started, you know, fighting over dumb shit, and then he left him, and now we don't have fucking Doge, right? They solved the government's fucking problems of 10 years, 20 years of budget deficit issues, and they just went away. Who knew? Well, it only took a couple of months to solve the federal government's budgetary issues by just taking a chainsaw and randomly cutting out fucking programs without understanding how they would affect people. So that happens. You do that, and you're taking away social safety nets from poor people, and these are black, brown, white people that you're taking social safety nets away from. You're giving huge tax cuts to the wealthy, and now you're building this $200 million White House ballroom expansion that almost, I want to safely say, like 99.9 or close to a fucking 100% of people, common Americans, or even maybe actually almost all 100% of, very close to 100% of Americans will never fucking step in, let alone fucking dance, because they don't meet the price of admission, which would be you gotta donate to fucking Mango Mussolini. Now, I've heard that it's going to be paid through donations from Trump, which I fucking doubt, because this motherfucker is a leech, and the last thing he wants to do is give fucking money to anybody, or that's not for him. It's enriching himself. Right? They say like billionaires, millionaires, whoever the fuck whatever his status is, Mango status is, whatever that is. He fuck he you don't give out the money. You don't become rich fucking giving paying taxes and giving out money. Right? They That's how you become a billionaire, millionaire. Right? Jeff Bezos didn't become a billionaire by giving out money. All right? You keep it. So it's going to be paid through donations from him and some donors, which I seriously fucking down. And the economy, regardless of which way you slice it, is still struggling. My fucking grocery bill hasn't come down. I'm just fucking used to it. Just used to it. Like, whatever. Right? Like, it is what it is at this point. He's fucking implementing tariffs, which, regardless of how you look at tariffs, at the end of the day, just random fucking 15% cost of doing business, to whether it's the supplier or the retailer or the buyer, any increase of that, whether it's a 15% tax, direct tax on the buyer, or 15% tariff on the retailer that buys from the manufacturer, or a 15% tax on the manufacturer itself. Regardless, that its numbers are a fucking balancing act. We all gone through high school math. I would like to think my audience has gone through basic high school math or middle school math, even of that. Right? We think we did the fine fucking X when we were in high school, and it's a balancing act. If you take from one side of the equation, it has to equal out on the other. So you can't tell Walmart that to bring a product in, let's just use Europe as an example. I think 15% is the current number. It changes every fucking day. And you got to pay 15% tariff on that to the federal government. Whether they fucking do anything with it, we don't know. They're probably just going to fucking, to bring their debt down or just hoard it. They're definitely not giving it to people that need social safety nets. Right? They're just fucking passing the buck onto us. So Walmart has to pay, a dollar for something, but now they have to pay $1.15 because it's coming from Europe. The government just keeps. You think Walmart's gonna fucking just eat that 15 cents? No. Walmart's margins are anywhere in the single digits, I believe. Even I think it might even be 10%, depending on the products. Regardless, their margins are very thin. They have out said that, and I believe that because Walmart's always trying to go for that rock bottom pricing, and in many cases, sometimes Walmart has purposely hurt itself to beat out competitors. But in this economy, with coming down from high inflation, it's not where it's supposed to be. Right, we're still in the upper two, close to 3% still. Um, COVID retailers have already been getting squeezed, or felt like they need to do make up for all the light recession or COVID issues. You think they're gonna eat that 15% tariff? No, hell fucking no. Well, there are very few, maybe you can count on your fucking fingers, companies in the world, except for maybe like people in healthcare, like healthcare in general, healthcare device manufacturers that can eat like a fucking 15% cut into their bottom line. So that 15% is gonna one way or another gonna get fucking passed on to us, the consumers. Walmart cannot take a 15% slashing to their bottom line. And now started rambling on about tariffs. Well, okay, I digress. Well, tariff we'll talk about on another day. So Trump's doing these right. We have a tariff issues. So you have the tariffs, you have inflation, and Americans are still struggling to pay their grocery bills. And what I what I was trying to say is people are still struggling and still recovering, right? I haven't heard of anybody in my family saying like, "Oh, Mango came in, life is great." Now on the internet, his maggots and the people on the internet, I call maggots. I don't generally refer that to all the voters. I try not to attack the voters directly, especially the general voter population, but his hardcore base that's on the internet spewing shit for him. I like to call them maggots. So those maggots on the online are saying like, "Oh, Trump's doing great. He's did all these trade deals," which they're not fucking trade deals. They're pre-trade negotiation deals. Trade deals are very complex. There's a lot of paperwork involved with them, and they can take multiple years to hammer out and even implement. So these are pre-trade negotiations. I know he got that win with Europe. We'll see what comes out of it. But regardless, Europe is still getting tariffed 15%. But with people still struggling to pay their grocery bills, people still struggling to make ends meet, right? Auto insurance was supposed to get cut in half. My auto insurance has not fucking got cut in half. If anything, it had been going up all these years, and even when Mango got into office. So, so rising costs for Americans, and the White House is getting a ballroom edition. Why? Why do we need a ballroom in the White House? You're renting it from us. You are renting it from us, the American people. That's not one of your fucking Manhattan, whatever the fuck he has. What does he have? Like fucking all those properties he owns. He like fucking does dumb shit with them. You're renting it from us. This is not for you to frivolously spend on. And you're fucking leaving soon. You better. So I just believe the expansion is just tone deaf, and it just reeks of what he is. Um, grew up with a golden fucking silver spoon. His daddy gave him everything, and he didn't completely run it into the ground, though he tried very hard. And he hit the jackpot with becoming um, president. So we have, oh my god, and then the stupid Qatari jet that he fucking got. Right. So we have all this money, and you might be wondering, well, what does a Qatari jet have to do with it? I'm getting ahead of my own thoughts. Uh, the the jet still needs to be remodeled to be used for president. And it was initially I heard it was the government of Qatar was trying to give it to the military or some entity outside of Donald Trump, but Donald Trump was like, no, I want it for myself because I think they even saw how bad the optics would be looking if they gave it directly to him and not the overall government or part of the military. So he ended up fucking getting it for himself. Yeah, it's a $400 million donation, but it still needs to be remodeled. And there are been some numbers been thrown around. It's going to take billions of dollars to remodel it to be used for the president. Which right, you have to strip this down to like beyond even the nuts and bolts because it's a gift from the foreign entity that is now going to be used as a fucking Air Force One for the president of the United States. Yes, you heard that right. A jet donated from other fucking countries, another foreign country that has its own issues going on, that is now going to be used to house our president in the air. Yes, it sounds fucking insane as it should. The president should not be flying around in anything other than that was built 100% inside of America with the most highest security provisions. But this dumbass, just like everything else that has been done, you wave donation gifts in front of him, he fucking look packs everything and he loses his mind and goes like, oh my god, you must really like me, I'm so great, you're giving me a free fucking gift. So there are estimates being thrown around, but Pod Save America brought up a really good point. They said this has never been done before, so no one knows what the true number is. So they might go in, and this happens more than often than not, especially in the government. It happens, I guess, on regular construction sites where people go over budget. So they might think that they only need $200 billion to renovate this jet. And it ends up being billions. From 2 billion, it goes to 6 billion. Hell, it could go to fucking 10 billion because it's never been done before, and you are having to strip, I would say, down to the nuts and bolts, but they would probably have to go even beyond that to make sure there's one, nothing that's faulty, right? That's the last thing you want, or any spy equipment, whatever the fuck that would be. Cutter, I don't know, put some fucking cameras in the bathroom. God, oof. Sorry for putting that image in your fucking head. That would be actually pretty funny if they did that. Put some cameras in the bathroom. Though I don't know why you would want that. Um, so they'll get their stupid little expansion and whatever, but Fox News, of course, like them being the cocksuckers, orange mango suckers that they are, uh, they're saying, "Oh, it's a great deal." But I just, if you are a Trump supporter, voter, or online maggot, I just want you to think if Obama had done this or Biden had done this. I really, that's all I can say. I know my libbies to the left, people that lean left. I know they know better, and they see it for this for what it is.